Well, hello everybody, Jamie the Board Game Man. In today's episode, we are going vintage, back to the year I was born, 1974. This is a 3 or 4 player game by Parker Brothers. It is called The Inventors. Now in this game, you're buying inventions, hopefully getting a patent, and making some royalties off of them as well. People can also steal the inventions from you, or even go in as a silent partner. So when you actually make some royalties, you have to split the royalties with that silent partner, which you do not want to do. Or you can just flat out just sell it for double the value. You never know what's going to happen in this game. So let's head on over to the gamers table, where I'm going to show you how to play The Inventors. Alright, here we are at the gaming table with the Inventors. Here we go. Alright, as you can see, we have the board. You also have a pair of dice. You actually have 4 player pawns. You have a set of Eureka cards. You also have the money. You have these patent clips, and these have numbers 0, 1, and 2 on them. You also have the inventor cards right here. They have the inventions on them. And of course, you can't miss the good old centerpiece, the incredible patent picker move maker machine. It doubles as putting clips on your cards and also rolls the dice, just like so. There you go. So the object of the game is you're trying to get the most money, and also along with the most valuable inventions, and whoever totals the most wins the game. What you'll do with these patent clips is you're going to go ahead and put them face down in here with the clip facing out, and I'll show you why in a moment. What you'll do is just kind of stick them in like so. I'm not going to put them all in there, but I'm just going to show you, just a couple of these, how you do it. You just drop them right on in, upside down. You drop them in just like so with the number face down. Let me go ahead and show you what the numbers look like here. And let's see, we got a 0, 1. Of course, I need to just clean these up a little bit here. 0, 1, and 2. And they're kind of indented in the silver. I don't know if you can really see them or not, but they're very faint. They're 0, 1, or 2. Okay? That's how you'll know there. Okay, and you're going to put all the clips in there, so that way you'll see that it looks something like this along the side of the machine. You see all the clips, they'll be stacked all the way to the top up there. Okay? And that's what triggers the game, is when the last patent is taken, that's when the game ends. So that's the game trigger right there, is when the last patent is taken. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this off here. Each player is going to go ahead and choose a color and start on the law office square. Everyone's going to start off with 3 Eureka cards in their hand, and these allow them to do certain things in the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of these here. Collect 1 patent claim. So this will allow you to place a patent on, if you have an invention in your possession, you can actually put a patent on it. Then you have advance to the next corner, which allows you to pick a corner. And a lot of these corners, I'll go over the spaces in a moment here. I just wanted to kind of go over a couple of these here. Collect a C invention, which is A's are the most valuable. B's are down the middle of the road there, and C's are the cheapest ones. So obviously you want to really try to go for the A's, but the B's and C's. So you have really, really good, okay, and well, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, so some of these tells you to collect a C invention, then pay a certain amount. You also have some which allow you to be a silent partner, which I'll go over in a few moments here. And then, collect a B invention, collect a C invention, collect an A invention, and so on. There's other things in here too, just like, let's see here. There's one space on here which allows you to, which makes you pay a legal fee. This allows you to not pay the legal fee, which is nice to have, and so on. So we'll go over some of those. But each player is going to go ahead and start with 3 of these cards in their possession. Even though I know this is a 3 or 4 player game, we'll just do a 2 player because I'm just going to try to show you how this works. And everyone starts off with $125,000 in their arsenal. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you have 3 different options on your turn. You can either roll the dice and move those amount of spaces. You can actually use one of your Eureka cards on your turn. Or you can go ahead and switch out all 3 of these cards for 3 new ones. So those are the 3 options you have on your turn. So we're going to go ahead and say that blue and yellow are our players this game. And we're going to go ahead and start off with blue. Let's see. Let's just say blue goes ahead and rolls the dice here. So he's going to go ahead and roll. He's going to place them in here. And he gets a 6. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it says collect $25,000 and take another turn. So I'd be able to go ahead and roll the dice once again. There's a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh, pay a legal fee of $10,000. So I'd have to pay $10,000, and then it goes on to the next player. Let's just say the next player decides, let's see, I want to go ahead and advance to the next corner. So what they can do is they can go ahead and advance to the next corner. Okay, this goes into the discard pile. This is no longer, or actually it goes underneath the stack. So you'll put it underneath the stack, okay? And then you're going to do what it says on the thing. Any invention for $40,000. So I'd be able to pay $40,000. And in this instance, I can buy a parachute hat. Okay? And it has all these dollar amounts on the back here. And I'll go over that right in 1 second here. Let's go ahead and show you what happens if you land on one of these. Say I got that for $40,000 and I have this in my possession. Now what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to try to hit this royalty track. And the way you hit that royalty track is if you land in a corner spot. When you land in a corner spot, just like I did here, let's just say I came up here, okay? What would happen is I can choose whether to do what it says on the board, or I can take the money. I land on this track here, and I can decide to go on the royalty track. This allows you to make money on the back of this card, which I'll go over right now since we're touching it now. So when you land in a corner spot, you can decide, like I said, to either do what it says or start taking the royalty track. So let's just say I landed here. I'm going to go ahead and start taking the royalty track here. What I'll do is I'm going to roll 1 die only. Okay, I rolled a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 times the royalties. So what I'll do is I'm going to look. This is my invention card. I'm going to see the big 7 right there. And since I do not have this patented, you'll see it says 7 and then none. So I would actually make $56,000 on this invention. Pretty darn good, okay? If I had a silent partner, that's what I just said earlier, where it says, no, I want to be a silent partner. Let me see, is it one of the cards? Yeah, well, here's an eliminate your silent partner. So there's a card where if someone paid you to be a silent partner, you can say, nope, take their money and say, nope, I'm going to eliminate you, you're gone. But there is a silent part, here it is right here. Silent partners must be used as soon as an opponent declares he will enter the royalty track. Okay, so as soon as I announce I'm going to go here, I want to say I want to be a silent partner with you. Okay, what you'll do is you're going to look on the back of the card, and it shows right here the investment fee. Okay, if there is a patent, if there's a claim on there, then you pay the $20,000. Okay, if there is one claim on there, then it's $30,000. 2 claims is $40,000. So it depends on if there is a claim chip on here or not. This does not have one, so it's going to be $20,000. So what I would do is I would pay that player $20,000. I'd put the silent partner on here. Oh, that'll actually be this card right here. Okay, and that would remind him that is I am silent partnering with him. Okay, so when he lands on the 7 times royalties, he has no clip on there, so it would be $56,000. But since I'm a silent partner, we each get $28,000. You can see right there. Okay, none. If I had 1 clip on there, then you would see, if I didn't have a silent partner, I would have made $84,000 on it. But since I have a silent partner, I only get the $42,000. So it cuts it right in half. So you can see why you don't really want a silent partner, because it really takes half your money. Okay, and that's when these eliminate your silent partner cards would come in handy. But obviously you want to make sure that you take the money first, and then you can eliminate them. So you don't have to eliminate them right away. Make sure you, okay, fine. Okay, by the way, thank you for your money. I'm going to eliminate you. Okay, and you can do that. So that even says that on the card. Cancels a silent partner card as soon as it is played. Don't forget to collect the investment fee first before using this card. So it even tells you to do that. So it is totally legal for you to do that. Okay, so that's what this little royalty track does. If you roll 1 die, you move the amount of spaces. This has a 6-time royalty, so you look at the 6 on the card. This has 3 times royalty, or you can sell for twice the value. And here's the value down below here. It says how many claims you have, and then it shows you how much, and how much if you have a silent investor. So this is for the silent investor to pay. This is for your royalty track, depending on how, what kind of clip you have on there. And then you have here, this is when you want to sell it, and that's the actual value, and it'll tell you how much it is, okay? So that pretty much tells you how it goes. So actually in this case, since it's, or sell for twice the value, if it was just me, then I would actually get $80,000. because there's no claims, there's no clips on here, so it'd be 40,000. Now, if I've had 1 or 2, then they would show the dollar amount right there. You also have the 7 times royalties, which I showed, and then the 5 time royalties. Okay, they're pretty much the same on each side, except they're a little in the different order. So you can see the same 5 are on each side, but they're in different order. Now, let's just say I rolled that 4, okay, and I got the 7 times royalties. And of course, at the end of your turn, you're going to go ahead and draw back up the 3 cards. And if you used a Eureka card, you will get another one from the draw deck. So you always want to have 3 in your hand, okay, at the end of your turn. Let's just say on my next turn, I rolled a 2. 1, 2. I can decide to stay on that royalty track, and I still hang on to this invention card. Now, if I rolled a 3 or higher, then I must exit it. That's when I must exit. So if I roll a 3, I go 1, 2, and 3, and then I go ahead and give up the card. The clip goes out of the game in case I have a clip on the card, and this would go back into the invention pile. Okay, these always go back into the game, but the clips come out because obviously, like I said, the end of the game trigger is when all these clips have been used. If you end up landing, say I rolled a 2 here and I went here, I can continue on to this royalty track. If you're that lucky to roll and hit it again, you can go again. But as soon as you exit, that's when you lose it, and then you return the clip to the box. Okay? So let's go over the different spaces on the board. So right here you have a patent claim. If you land on this, and obviously, let's just say I had the eye protector for chickens, then what I would do is I would take this card, and I would go ahead and slide it right in here. Okay, like so. You go ahead and there we go. Just kind of stick it in there. There we go. And it clips onto your card. Obviously, you don't want anybody else to see what the number is, but if you flip it over, you'll see that is a 2. Okay? So what I would do is I would look, when I go in the royalty, I will look, I have a number 2, and that's when I will look on the bottom here. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay? So that's how you get the clips. You just stick it right in there, it clips on there, and you're good to go. And then you're going to put that face up in front of you, and that way no one sees the number on there, because obviously you don't want everybody knowing you have a 2, because then they're definitely going to want to be a silent partner with you. So, but as far as they know, you might have a 0, which means it's pretty much like you didn't even do the patent. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and set this here. Now, luckily, there's only 3 zeros, and there's 20 clips. So obviously you getting a 0 kind of low, but there are 3 of them in the game. Okay? And I believe there's 10 1s and there's 7 2s. So you have a total of 20 clips in the game. Okay, so I went and did the patent claim. That's how you do that, okay? And like I said, once you exit it, this goes out of the game, and this goes back into the stack of C inventions, okay? That's how that works. Some of these actually tell you an exact one to purchase. So this one here, the A invention, parachute hat for 40,000. So you actually look for the parachute hat, and you would purchase it for the 40,000, and then it's a part of your possession. If, let's just say, I come around, I have the parachute hat, and I come around, and I land on it again, then what I do is I'm going to take both dice, roll it, and I get times 1,000 the amount that's in there. So it's a 7, so I would actually make 7,000 from the bank. Now, if an opposing player lands on it, and I have the card, then they would roll the dice, and they would pay me 1,000. That would be 11,000 that they would pay me for landing on my invention. Okay, so that's how that works. You also have the B inventions. You have all the different inventions that have their own spot on the board. You also have steal an invention from another player. So you'd be able to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take your light up mouse frightener. And so they have to give that to you, and you're stealing it from them, unless you have a Eureka card not allowing them to steal it from you. There are those cards in the stack. Uh-oh, lose one invention. So you might land on this. Of course, like I showed you earlier, there's that uh-oh card where it actually allows you to not have to do that. You also have, let's see what else is on here. I think that's, and then you have another uh-oh, the legal fee. And I think that's collect royalty on each invention, 15,000. So this is an automatic. You wouldn't have to go through the royalty thing. You'd automatically get 15,000 per card that you have. This one has the this one has the legal fee per invention. So you'd have to pay 10,000 per invention, and so on. They're pretty easy to read. I mean, it pretty much tells you what to do on each one of these spaces. And of course, you have the A, B, and C inventions on the corners. Now, if there's any fees that you pay along the way, so let's just say you had to pay the legal fee here, You had to pay the other, the legal fee over here. You had to, all that stuff. Then what you would do is you would tuck it under this corner. So the money, if you had, say there was $50,000 total that was collected along this thing, you would put it right under here, and whoever would land on the law office, it says collect fees, then that is your money to keep. If you land on this corner shot and you decide not to take the royalty track and you decide to take here, then you would take the money that's under there if you land on the law office. And that's pretty much the game. You pretty much go around and you're buying these inventions. You're hopefully going on the royalty track, making some money without a silent partner, hopefully. And once all the patent clips have been used, that triggers the end of the game. You're going to count all the money you have. And if you still have any of these inventions, you would obviously go by the actual value. And the total of those two, whoever has the most money wins. And that, my friends, is the Inventors. So let's head on over to the game room, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so my final thoughts on the Inventors. This is a great, great game, especially with, of course, the dice machine there. That is just really, really cool. You gotta love little gadgets and stuff in some of these games, and this has probably got to be one of the top gadgets that you can have in a game, especially from 1974. The incredible patent picker move maker machine. Say that 3 times fast. Great, great thing. It's just a simple thing as just rolling the dice. That's all it's used for. And you could just roll the dice, but it's kind of cool that they actually have that in there. And it just makes that game much more appealing, especially if you're playing it and someone doesn't know what that game is. You're like, what is that thing in the middle of the and ka-ching, like a little cash register. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So I love the way this game works. I love how you do the little patent where you just kind of slip and the clip goes right onto the card. It's just really, really a fun vintage game that you should definitely have. I know I found this a couple years ago, and I'm still living in California. I believe I got it for $8, I believe. It was at one of my favorite thrift stores. So I couldn't believe I found it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, for $8, it's sold. It is in my collection. And this is definitely a thumbs up. And oh yeah, by far, this will stay in my collection. This ain't going anywhere. So that's definitely my final thoughts. Definitely game to get. Double thumbs up if you can find it. I think you could find it for a pretty decent price. I don't think this game really goes for a lot of money, so I think you have a good chance of finding it. It's just a good, wholesome, fun, early 1900s game where you're just trying to get inventions, and the inventions are funny too. Some of the names of the inventions are pretty funny as well. So it just makes it just a really fun game. So little take it to you when it comes to certain things like, stealing an invention or become a silent, investor. Yeah, it's okay. You know what? It's not that bad. There's a lot more games that are a lot worse than that. So just enjoy it how it is and definitely get it if you can find it. So, all right, well, that's my review of the Inventors. Thank you so much for watching as always. And I always appreciate your support. And then there's always happy gaming.